Good day everyone and welcome back. We're going through this month's Unearthed Arcana for October 2018. We're up to the Warforged components, which is something that I'm really interested in. I'm going to preface this by saying that all of these options technically require attunement by a Warforged, but we're going to get started with the Arm Blade, which is any one-handed melee weapon. It's also common. An Arm Blade is a weapon designed to integrate with the forearm of a Warforged. If you're a Warforged, you can attach an Arm Blade by attuning to it. An attached arm blade cannot be disarmed or removed from you against your will, but while the weapon is attached, you cannot use that hand for other actions. You can spend 1 minute to end the attunement and remove the arm blade. Now, an important thing to note is that an arm blade itself is not considered magic for the points of overcoming damage resistances. However, it can have your more standard magic items infused into it, so it might be like a vicious arm blade or a vorpal arm blade that they have as they mentioned here, or it might even be like a sun arm blade, although that would be kind of weird. Lightsaber arm. I don't know where I'm going with that. But this is something that I see perhaps being used in other settings or not even on Warforged. Like, say that you have a setting where mechanical arms exist, or you've got people that will augment their abilities by sort of replacing limbs with pieces of Warforged, like Warforged arms, and using magic to control them as opposed to hooking them up to the nervous system. I can see those types of characters heavily relying on objects like arm blades to, again, enhance further their combat prowess. So I see that having a lot of uses in a lot of different situations, not just for Warforged if your DM wants to allow it. But we're going to move on to perhaps the most interesting among these, the Docent. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's Docent. It's a very rare, wondrous item, and it is a small metal sphere, approximately 2 inches across. Started with dragon shards, and despite its strong magical aura, it has no obvious abilities. However, when you attune to it, it becomes part of you, embedding itself in your chest and coming to life. It's a sentient item at that point, of any alignment with an intelligence of 16, a wisdom of 14, and a charisma of 14. And it can perceive the world through your senses. A Docent communicates telepathically with its wielder and can speak, read, and understand Common and Giant. I'm not terribly sure why they understand Giant, but it might have something to do with the people who apparently created them. I don't know, because I don't know all that much about the Eberron setting. For personality, a Docent is designed to advise and assist the Warforged it's attached to. One of the simple functions of it is to serve as a translator. The Docent's properties are under its control, and if you have a bad relationship with it, it may refuse to assist you, or simply lie about information that it obtains. However, if you treat it well, it could serve you as a useful ally. Oh hey, it actually goes into the origins here. The origins of Docent are a great mystery. House Cannith created the first Warforged 30 years ago, but Docents come from the distant land of Zendrick, and appear to be thousands of years old. Were they created to interface with some other form of construct? Or are the modern Warforged a new interpretation of an ancient design? The Docents claim to have forgotten their creators, but this is a mystery waiting to be unraveled. Languages, all Docents understand Common and Giant, as was previously mentioned, but Docents can know up to 4 additional languages. Elvish and Draconic are common options. If a Docent knows less than 6 languages in total, it can add new languages to its repertoire after encountering them. So a Docent found in Zendrick might have never encountered a dwarf before, but after spending some time in Corvair studying dwarves, it could pick up the dwarvish language. And then finally, properties. They have 3 of any of the following properties. The Docent can cast Detect Magic at will. The Docent can cast Detect Evil and Good at will. It can detect any form of divination or scrying targeting it and its Warforged hosts. That's actually really nice. It has a +7 bonus to Intelligence Arcana checks. It has a +7 bonus to Intelligence History checks. Has a +7 bonus to Intelligence Investigation checks, or a +7 bonus to Intelligence Nature checks. A +6 bonus to Wisdom Insight checks, a +6 bonus to Wisdom Perception checks, or finally a +6 bonus to Wisdom Medicine checks, targeting its Warforged host. If the host is rendered unconscious, the Docent will automatically attempt to stabilize them once each turn. You can use a bonus action on your turn to request the Docent use one of its properties on your behalf. That's nice. I really like the inclusion of it having up to 3 of those properties. I would assume that generally those would be randomly decided by the DM, but I suppose that if you really wanted to allow them to, you could get your players to select which ones you want. I like that it gives bonuses to the Docent instead of like the Warforged itself, so it's sort of acting as an additional party member while not being able to interact in combat and not being like along the lines of a familiar or an animal companion. And then finally we have the Wand Sheath. A Wand Sheath is designed to integrate with your forearm of a Warforged, much like the arm blade. If you are a Warforged, you can attach a Wand Sheath by attuning to it. While the Wand Sheath is attached, it cannot be removed from you against your will. You can spend 1 minute to end the attunement and remove the Wand Sheath. You can insert a wand into the sheath as an action. While the wand is sheathed, you gain the following benefits. You can retract the wand into your forearm or extend it from your forearm as a bonus action. While it is retracted, it cannot be damaged or removed. While the wand is extended, you can use it as if you were holding it, but your hand remains free for other actions. If the sheathed wand requires attunement, you must attune to the wand before you can cast it. However, the wand sheath and the attached wand only count as a single item for the purposes of the maximum number of items you can attune to. If you remove the wand from the sheath, you immediately lose your attunement to the wand. That's fun. I feel like it's a bit better than the melee equivalent of the arm blade, but that's still pretty fun. It has a wide array of uses. You could put it on like a melee Warforged, and they could have like a wand sticking out that they can use and cast spells with while still holding their weapon properly. So I see that being really helpful of like maybe a Hexblade or a Eldritch Knight Warforged, something like that. Anyway, that's it for this month's Unearthed Arcana. I hope you enjoyed. I'm really looking forward to the Adron setting now. So, cheers and thanks for watching. I might see you next time. Bye.